Hi, I'm Dr. Sage Breslin. I was recently contemplating the idea about how we hold on to the past. And in Peru, one of the things that I learned was that when we place the past in front of us, it blocks our forward movement. So the only way we can actually move forward is to place the past behind us. Now, theoretically speaking, that sounds good, but how many of us have really struggled to put the past behind us? I would say my number one least favorite saying, probably ever, um, I heard over and over again when I worked in the South: just get over it. Hey, just forget about it. Just get over it. And it was at that time that I felt like it was my duty to come up with a different thing to say, a different phrase, a different response. And I started thinking about not just get over it, but get into it. Because when we dive into the past and we really wrestle with it and struggle with it and speak to it and communicate to it and process it, we can actually release it. So it came up a few days ago with a client of mine who was talking about how difficult it has been to sort of release the past with her mate, and that they'd gone through some difficult times and they'd opted to stay together. And I think by and large they're doing pretty well. But anytime conflict comes up, the past upsurges and is placed squarely between them again. And the question was, how do you resolve the past? How do you let it go? And, how do you move beyond it? How do you dive into it so that you can let it go? And, what I really became present to was the fact that, we don't question how the past is anchored in. We know what the problem is, what the circumstance was, who did what to whom, but it's very, very rare for us to consider where it's attached. And sometimes the past is not attached where we think it is. Sometimes when we look at for instance, an infidelity in a relationship, we can say, okay, well, let's go back to, what happened and how it happened and why it happened and what it meant for each of the parties as well as the couple. But what if that's kind of getting beyond that is really not the struggle? What if the struggle lays deep within one of the parties where infidelity was, something that occurred in their family of origin? Now it's not just moving beyond what one spouse chose, it's moving beyond all of the history that comes from the family of origin as well. So probably the first thing about resolving past issues is knowing what they are for sure, and what their impact was for each party in the relationship, but also really understanding where realistically that stuff, that material is actually anchored. Where is it anchored in current day versus where is it anchored maybe deep in the past? So that was one thought, that sometimes it takes more than a single session to sort of move beyond a conflict that keeps on getting served up over and over and over again. What I've found is that, most couples find it excruciating to have material that disconnects them, that stands between them. And they would probably do almost anything to get beyond it if they knew how, if they knew what to do. And when I work with couples just like that, just like you, I try to encourage the couple to take the time to do the work. For some couples, they're able to come in every week and plod along and move through it. For other couples, it takes too long. It takes too much commitment. It takes too much consistency. And I don't need to judge that, none of us need to judge that. Sometimes it's difficult to have that same time every week and to, really keep on ponying up over and over and over again. Sometimes it's easier just to stop time. And I found that the couples VIP days are a perfect way to stop time. You can take 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, and you can set aside the time to be in it, to be in whatever this past issue is. and to wrestle with it and to learn how to communicate differently about it and to learn where it's anchored in. And when we learn where it's anchored in, then we can really release it. Gosh, you feel the lightness and freedom that comes from that? Release it. Let it go. But it's not just letting it go, like people say, hey, just get over it. It's actually launching it into the past where it belongs, with no more ties, no more tethers, and really no more steam, no more energy behind it. So that when you release it, you and your partner can move forward together. No space between you, no separation, no conflict, and wait for it, no upsurge of the conflict ever again, right? That seems incomprehensible, doesn't it? Especially if you're in a relationship where every time there's conflict, this issue comes up. Wouldn't it be incredible to no longer have that go on? I think it would be amazing. So if you feel like you're ready to put the past behind you, and you're not quite sure where it's all anchored in or how to get it, unpacked or how to release it, I am ready to be there for you. I love this process of unpacking things and allowing them to become part of the past rather than our present. Because gosh, imagine how extraordinary it would be to just be in the present, just to be free to be yourself and to move forward. And who knows what that even looks like if you're not lugging around 10 tons of bricks. I'm Dr. Sage Breslin, and this is Fabulous Friday, and I'm looking forward to meeting with you and seeing how I can help you unpack the past so that you can not only be completely present, but also enjoy your future. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful weekend.